The American Mafia, running from the mob. Christmas Eve killings bring to an end couple's foolhardy criminal career by Thomas Hunt. Thomas and Rosemarie Uva headed out on the morning of Thursday, December 24th, 1992, to finish up their Christmas shopping. Before leaving their apartment at 83rd Street in Ozone Park, Queens, Rosemarie spoke briefly on the telephone with her 61-year-old mother-in-law, Fanny Accomando Uva of the Bronx. Traffic was heavy. Holiday motorists mixed with the usual Thursday morning rush hour congestion. The Uvas in a four-door maroon Mercury Topaz were less than a mile from home at 9 o'clock when they stopped for a traffic light at 103rd Avenue's intersection with 91st Street. Bullets cracked in rapid succession through the Topaz's windshield. 3 slugs struck 28-year-old Thomas in the head. 3 others hit Rosemarie, 31. They died instantly. Their automobile, no longer restrained by the force of a living person's leg on its brake pedal, began to move through the intersection. It continued eastwards several blocks, colliding with another vehicle at Woodhaven Boulevard, and finally coming to rest against a brick wall and fence surrounding a residential property at Woodhaven and 103rd Avenue. Maria DeTama, 76, was at home in Ozone Park cleaning fish for the family's Christmas Eve dinner when her son, police officer Anthony DeTama, came in. Officer DeTama explained to her that her daughter Rosemarie and son-in-law Thomas would not be joining them for the holiday. They had been shot to death some hours earlier. At that moment, police, press, and public had no idea why the young people had been killed. Members of some New York crime families understood the reason, but they weren't yet talking about it. Fanny, who seemed to be the first to have an inkling. When she spoke with the local press, she remarked that the shooting sounded like something the Mafia would do, but she told reporters that her son Thomas had no connection to organized crime. Background: Christmas 1992 became a period of mourning for the Uva and DeTama families. Funerals occurred immediately after the holiday. The couple, joined for a relatively short time in life, were separated in death. While Thomas Uva was buried in the Bronx, the DeTama family decided that Rosemarie would be interned in St. John Cemetery in Queens. Information about the 2 shooting victims gradually reached the authorities and the media. Rosemarie DeTama was born in 1961 and grew up in Ozone Park. Her father died when she was young. After that, Rosemarie became a wild child. Wild behavior became criminal behavior as she reached adulthood. In 1986, she was convicted of attempted robbery and served 15 months in state prison. When her mother Maria discussed this matter with the press, she mentioned without providing details that it involved her son placing her daughter under arrest. How Rosemarie met Thomas Hoover was uncertain, but it seems that they were already involved as she went off to prison. They were married shortly after her release in 1987. Thomas Hoover was born May 17, 1964, to Anthony and Fanny Acomando Hoover of the Bronx. He was raised in that borough's southeastern Throgton section. His father had a florist shop there on East Tremont Avenue. In the same year that Thomas and Rosemarie married, Thomas's father accidentally shot himself and died of his wound. Anger was piled onto the shock of his father's death when Thomas learned that the family florist business would be given to his brother. Long fascinated with outlaws, Thomas began his criminal career at roughly the same time he began his marriage. He was convicted of attempted burglary and sent to prison in the summer of 1989. He was paroled in May of 1992. Rosemarie, then an employee of a Manhattan collection agency, convinced her agency to give Thomas a job. He kept that position for about half a year. He was laid off in November, a month before he and his wife were killed.